Season 2 of Let's Talk Wilco. This podcast is brought to you by the Interagency Support Council of Eastern Williamson County, which has recently been renamed to My Community Catalyst, also known as MC Squared for short. As of 2025, MC Squared is a nonprofit organization that provides local social service organizations with the support needed to operate more effectively, efficiently, and ethically. We at MC Squared focus our efforts on collaboration, coordination, and innovation to identify gaps in resources and to help develop creative solutions. Let's Talk Wilco was created to provide the public with the opportunity to listen to the people with the boots on the ground serving Williamson County. We discuss the unique characteristics and needs of our county as a whole, but our biggest focus is on our Eastern County communities that are often underserved. We also talk about the complexities of nonprofit, community-based organization and social service agency work. We don't just focus on the problems here, but on what is going well and on how we can work together to improve the effectiveness of community support services. My name is Liz Wiggins. I am the board president for MC Squared and your host. I created this podcast as part of my volunteer work for MC Squared. I first began volunteering my time with service organizations more than 20 years ago, and I have a particular interest in organizations that improve people's lives and positively impact the community. I'm also an attorney. It was through my work as an attorney that I first became aware of our local service organizations and their impact on justice-involved people in Wilco. Now, I'm excited to share that Let's Talk Wilco has partnered with Healthy Williamson County for Season 2. And through this partnership, we have a new co-host for the show, Fatimah Sajid, a passionate student leader, aspiring doctor, and advocate for youth wellness and equity. As a Georgetown high schooler, Fatimah brings a unique blend of science, heart, and community spirit to everything she does. She's the founder of Every Mind Matters, a student-led mental health initiative that's created space for her peers to manage stress, find support, and connect through art, outreach, and guest speaker events. Her love for healthcare goes beyond the classroom. She has been developing a machine learning model to support early breast cancer detection in underserved communities with a focus on global health equity. Yes, did you not hear what I just said? Anyhow, Fatimah's advocacy work continues at the policy level as a varsity debater and youth and government delegate. She's introduced legislation at the Texas State Capitol focused on expanding healthcare access for low-income families and promoting safe practices around weight loss medications. Locally, she serves as a youth community advisory board member for the Healthy Williamson County Coalition and eventually plans to use her public speaking skills to reach out and to educate communities on healthy living. Fatimah, you are an absolute rock star. Tell me a little bit more about what you do as a youth advisory board member with Healthy Williamson County.
Hey everyone, this is Fatimah. So glad to be here. When I'm with the Healthy Williamson County, one of the main goals that I have specifically is to develop mental health resources and events for youth because I am part of the youth. So it's the idea that I would understand the main issues. And actually, surprisingly, you all listeners should keep an eye out for this. We are hosting an event in October. Well, we're going to be holding a mental health art competition where high schoolers can submit art that represents ideas that, just reduce stigma around mental health and other things like that. And it'll just be a whole event. So that's just to give you an idea of some things that we do.
And if somebody else, another high schooler was interested in being a part of this youth advisory board, how could they go about joining?
Yeah, so if you search up the Healthy Williamson County and then you search up a cohort and it'll be the Youth Advisory Board Council cohort specifically, there'll be an application link that pops up almost immediately. It's around November-ish. If they check out that link and fill out the application, they could be a possible member as well, if chosen.
That is amazing. I hope other people who are listening to this right now, if they've been trying to figure out how to get involved with their community, are thinking that this might be a good fit for them and will keep their eye out.
Yeah, 100%. I am so glad to be part of this amazing community, and it's so fun and interesting. I literally recommend this to almost everyone I speak to. So, if you're interested, 100% check it out.
As I mentioned earlier, you're also the founder of Every Mind Matters.
Mhm.
While I shared a little bit about what that does, can you share a little bit more about how that has been working on your school campus?
So, Everyone Matters, as you've already mentioned, is basically a mental health club designated for high schoolers because high school is a time of a lot of stress. So, people need a place to chill and just let loose, I suppose. So, some of the things we do is like we're centered around workshops and volunteering because those are some great ways to alleviate that stress. And so, for instance, currently we are creating a gratitude ball at my school. And so, what we're doing is we're putting flowers and we're putting like leaves, having people write positive affirmations on them. And so, the idea is that people will put flowers up with positive affirmations. A passerby could take a flower, write their own positive affirmation, and put it on back on the board. So it's a kind of fun little interaction. Actually, this December, during the holidays, we launched this initiative known as Canvases for Care. And so, what we were able to do was create over 60 paintings to give to patients in hospitals during the holiday season, especially since it's a time people can feel lonely. So, it's a bunch of art and exercise based activities.
I was so surprised to hear about your work at the Capitol. I recently went to the Capitol and it was a zoo. I thought, wow, I can't believe people come here all the time. And some people, it's their job to be there almost every day during the legislative session. But I remember walking through the halls. I've been there before, but nobody had been there when I had been there before, right? Like the halls were basically empty. It wasn't during the session period, but this is the first time I've been during session and had seen just how intense it was and how many people were walking through the hallway and how many people were there to advocate for different things that were passionate, like something that they were passionate about. But the fact that you have gone there and actually introduced legislation, tell me a little bit more about that experience of going to our state capitol and why it mattered so much to you that you were willing to brave brave the legislative capitol chaos is what I'm going to call it.
Program is called Youth in Government. And so the goal of it is to allow students to actually get political experience. You have an opportunity to go present at the Texas State Capitol if you are selected. And so my bill was basically this year about weight loss medication and how like we shouldn't have unauthorized access to it if you don't necessarily need it. What I got to do was such an amazing opportunity. I got to go to the Senate chamber and there was a podium there, and all the students were sitting in the Senate chamber seats once the Senate chamber was out of session. I got to speak on that podium and then talk about my bill and then debate with other students. And we had the whole day to do that. And it was just an amazing opportunity. So the chaos was very fun.
So I have to know just a little bit more about this weight loss medication, this bill. What made you decide on that topic in that specific bill, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, for sure. So when we think of weight loss medications, I think one of the first medications that come to mind is Ozempic. And something surprising about Ozempic is that it is not FDA approved for weight loss. It's FDA approved for things such as diabetes. However, as we've seen through common trend, is that a lot of people have been using it as a way for weight loss. Not everyone, but some people when they don't necessarily need it for things like diabetes. So my bill was to prevent like offhand prescriptions by doctors who are giving these medications for people for weight loss when they don't necessarily need it. And it was also the idea that if we're like using weight loss pills for like, to become thinner, it's like focusing on unrealistic beauty standards that can lead to a lot of mental health issues as well.
Wow, that is very in depth. The fact that you understand those nuances and the connections between, having unrealistic standards, whether it's beauty or any other sort of social standards that we create for ourselves, and how that can connect to somebody's mental health. I'm truly impressed by that, considering
It's so
that
sweet.
no, like As a high school student, I could tell you that I don't know that I would have been thinking about those things at 17. And so the fact that you are able to understand all of those things and articulate just the importance of following the law and how this can relate to mental health, and then do that at the Capitol was just amazing. So, um, kudos, seriously, kudos to you.
Yeah.
And again, I'm very lucky to have you as a co-host on this show this
And now I'm
season.
even luckier to have a chance to be part of it.
Our audience can actually be a part of this journey with us by sending feedback about the show or questions that they want answered to info@interagencyeast.org, and they can help us by following the show and sharing our show with people they know.